Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to our first, I'm going to call it our town hall event, for getting input on our 2035 plan. If you can't tell, I am not Coach Odle. In fact, most of you know that I know very little about sports, so it's amazing that Coach Odle even wants to hang out with me at all. But I am here to introduce him. Before I do that, I do want to tell you guys how important this process is for us. 2025 was our last plan. It was adopted 10 years ago, and it changed the trajectory of Lewisville. We got engagement from the public, and the public told us where they wanted to be when we turned 100 years old. So now we're at 2025, and I can tell you the things that the public told us were different than where we were going before, and we changed direction. And we're here now because we're asking for input again. And everything is on the table, things that we are working on currently. If you, the public, say, this isn't really what we want, that input is going to go to council, and council will make a decision if that's where, basically, do we want to change direction or not. But I can tell you our council cares very much about the input from the committees that are made up for the 2035 committee, but also for the public that's here tonight. I will tell you also that this is the most important project of my career. I am the city manager of Lewisville, Texas, and there are many projects that we work on. We just built a public safety center. We run amazing programs with our parks department. We won a gold medal just recently nationally for that, which is really pretty amazing. I can tell you there's a lot of things that bring me great meaning, but this one is the most important to me because it is telling us where the future will be for Lewisville. And so one of the things I was tasked the team with is I want to double the amount of engagement than we got last time. And if that doesn't just mean tonight, we are actively going out into the community in different subsects of the community, churches, HOAs, multifamily complexes, to try to get people, meet them where they are. I am so glad that you're meeting us where we are today, because I think this is going to be one of the most impactful opportunities. But with that, I want to introduce you. We have speakers tonight that are going to be touching on a few things that I think are really key to understanding what it means to be from Lewisville. Our first speaker really understands what it means to be from Lewisville. Ronnie Cade knows him very well when he was a youngster, and in fact described him as that snot-nosed kid from around the way. But he is so much more than that. Coach Odle actually grew up in Lewisville, and he knows what it means to be from Lewisville. And he was our starting quarterback. He was the quarterback that led the Fighting Farmers to a Division I state championship in 1996. And after graduating from UNT, he began a career coaching football. And in 2017, he returned home to be the coach for our Fighting Farmers. And I will tell you that it is not just about winning games, he is building men for this community. And I don't know if you have any women on your team. Do you have any women on your team? He does not right now. But he's building men and future leaders. So I would love to introduce Coach Mike Odle to the stage, and he's going to talk to us about what it means to be from Lewisville and that history and the future.
All right, man. Thank you guys for being here, and thanks for having me. Claire called and asked if I would speak, and I didn't even know what I was speaking about, but I said yes, and now she says it's the most important of her career. So I do feel honored. I feel honored to be here, and any time I can speak, I want to speak. I want to things that I love. I love the city of Lewisville. I love Lewisville High School. This community made me who I am today, and that's a lot of what I'm going to talk about. And yes, I love winning football games. It's very important to fill that stadium up and win, and we want to hold up trophies. But the men and women, because I'm also the athletic coordinator, I'm over all 14 sports that we have at Lewisville High School. But the relationships that we create, the fundamentals and the things that we teach, the integrity of the game, the discipline that it takes to be an athlete, all those things carry you way past when you hang your cleats up. So that's a part of why I'm here. It opened up doors for me. So really, really excited to be here. So Thanks for having me. You guys can come on in. I don't think I spit too much when I talk, so I got some seats up front for you. So, but let's get going. So again, thank you so much for being here. Very important in what we're doing to Lewisville, and as I've seen this town grow. I was born in 1978, and I'm going to get to a little bit of my story, so you know just where I came from and the things that I'm super passionate about. But love telling my story because I love Lewisville. I remember I have a fifth grade. When I was at DeGan Elementary, I wrote a little story, I guess what it is. I still have it in my office drawer, and it was about Lewisville. And then I went off to college. I started at Cook County in Gainesville, and my first English paper in college, I had to write about something. Well, I wrote about Lewisville. I mean, I loved it. I wrote about the city, the town, the history, everything about it. So those things, and then for me to come back here and to be the head coach for going on 9 years, living out my dream every day. I pull into that parking lot, and I see Max Goldsmith Stadium. I see Lewisville High School, and I'm right where I need to be. So, Lewisville, we live in a big town. We're growing like crazy, and it's super exciting to see the growth that's happening when I come down downtown. And yeah, I love going over there to Sullivan's Barbecue and local businesses and all that good stuff. But you guys are the voice. You are here. I just walked through and saw the cool things that we're doing. I was at another presentation a month ago at Point Bank when they talked about some of the things that are going on at the lake and the mall, and man, there's a lot of exciting things. So we're the voices, and I'm just here to talk up Lewisville because it's my home, it's my place. So, but the park, the facilities, the youth, all these things. Those are things that I'm just super proud of. My two kids were born in that hospital right down the street. Many of my friends are first responders, great people, love them to death. Our school system, I mean, LISD and what Dr. Rapp's doing is amazing. I mean, they're just cutting edge. So those are things that are just growing. And then Claire, we have a wonderful city manager who really believes in this place. Yeah, give her a round of applause. So, and we're sitting here and asking the community, what you want and to help with this vision. I mean, I think that's super, super powerful. So who am I? 1948. I was not born in 1948, but what that means, and this is a cool story. So I'm sitting at the grotto actually eating, and it was an anniversary dinner with my wife, and my bill was paid for. I'm like, oh, who's paying for my bill? So I'm looking around, and a gentleman comes up to me and he says, "Hey, I knew your grandpa. I know you don't know me. I knew your grandpa. Together, we bought a house in Lewisville in 1948." So that's how the Odles came to Lewisville. In 1948, we bought a house. My grandpa did on Simpson Circle, if you know where that is, right over there by Price. That's where I grew up. My grandma and grandpa watched me and my brother, my two cousins, and we just played everything, every sport we knew what to do in this town. We rode our bikes all around this town. We did it, man. It was fun, but that's where it started with my grandparents coming in 1948. So my dad and my uncles were Lewisville graduates. If you know the Odles from the 70s, Gary, Glenn, and Greg, and then I started out on Mill Street. We lived in a trailer park out on Mill Street, and man, I wrote stories about that in high school too. There was a train track that went through there. There was a creek. It was right by the golf course and LFA and LBA. We moved on up into the valley. They still call it the valley these days, right over there by DeGan. And then we really got fancy and bought our first house right off Fox and Valley. And in my journey was DeGan, DeLay, and then LHS, where just some wonderful people really impacted me. I want to talk about Doug Killow. I should have put that on there, but what an outstanding man that came here. I believe he came from Alabama to Lewisville, brought all these wonderful traditions to Lewisville High School, who was already loaded with tradition, by the way. But he really enhanced that and really did some wonderful things, and he was my principal. I think he retired the year we won state and went on, and now we have LHS Kilo after him, but did want to mention him. So I'm a Lewisville grad, as Claire said, 1997. 96, we won a state championship. That was fantastic. I was on the football and the baseball team. So Coach Mike Campbell, Coach Ronnie Gage, big influences in my life. And just blessed, absolutely blessed to be the athletic coordinator and head coach of our football program. And again, the best thing I get to do is build relationships with not only my players, but the families. I mean, I get to go into the houses. I get to know mom, dad, uncle, grandparents, you name it. And that's how you build culture. It's not just with the players. It's when they go home and they're eating and the things that they do at home and getting to know everybody and doing this thing together. And then also I get to hire people. I get to hire coaches and head coaches that love kids, that love Lewisville, and that want to be a part of this community in this town. So that's where, I'm at. It's not just about me and winning games. It's about our community and the culture that is set that we're going to do. So how did I get here? When I was going through, churches were a big part of my life. I was at Lewisville Baptist. It used to be right over here, way back in the day, if y'all remember that. But LFA, LBA, the Lewisville, the youth associations, names like just all these. I don't want to start naming my youth coaches in the 80s, but they were men of the community, men and women of the community that poured into us, and we did this together. I put the rodeo up there. My dad used to take me to the rodeo down the street. And again, it was a way that we could commune as a city of Lewisville and come together and celebrate and do life together. Get to know people. This is how, way before technology. So if you want to hang out with your buddies, you went to the rodeo, right? You went to, your kids were involved in things, and you created those relationships, and that's how we did it. The school system, I talked about my coaches, not only my high school coaches, my middle school coaches, but also those dads, the men and women from my youth. And then our lake. I mean, how many of us have made just lasting relationships because of Lake Lewisville and the good times out there, fishing with my dad, teaching me how to ski, teaching me how to operate a boat, just all the things that you do as a family, and then the bonds that happen out there. So I know there's important things that are going to happen with the construction around the lake, and to make that place safe in a place that we can enjoy and make relationships. All right. I just wanted to continue that when life threw me curveballs, when I had difficulties growing up, and some of the things that I had to endure, a lot of different things. The number one thing is, my mother, I lost her at age 12 to cancer. And I remember telling this story. I was in 6th grade at DeLay, and I was just lost. I was totally lost, as you would expect a young man to be. How did I get through that? And I've told this story 100 times, so now I can say it without crying. But I got through it because of this place. I got through it because of Lewisville, the community, all the things I've talked about. I got through it because of DeLay Middle School, Lewisville High School, my coaches that I met, the kids that I hung out with and played with, their families taking me in, giving me a safe place to grow and to become a young man. So when I say, life's hard, it's hard for all of us, what do we fall back on? And this community is always been that rock that can support young people. And again, blessed to be in a position where I can do that. I can do that to a bunch of kids. So I'm paying it forward. That's why I'm here. Winning football games is important, but impacting kids, sharing my story with those that I have things in common with, is my true gift, and how I can reach kids and use sports to better them and to give them hope for a future, to get that degree, to move on, whether it's college or whether it's join the workforce, but be proud of their community that we live in, and always come back and serve in lots of ways. So grateful to all you. You know, a lot of you been here for a long time, so thank you, and just again, the beautifulness of what's going on downtown and around Lewisville. It just really, really excited to see. Who are we? Love talking about this. Make sure I don't get too close to the stage. I fall off. Ronnie, you got me. But hardworking men and women, the grit. That's what Lewisville is. It's a city where you know, your neighbor. We love our neighbor. You can trust each other. You got each other's backs. I put, wave to folks. I'm still driving down the road today, just waving to people. Like, who is this guy? I'm just waving, man. Like, how are you doing? Saying hi to folks in the grocery store. I love going to Chick-fil-A. They talk to me. They tell me, have a great day, all that stuff. I'd never walk into a grocery store or a Walmart or anything and just go out of my way to try to say hi to people, thank you for what you're doing, serve and help, and that's what Lewisville is. And I love that. I love the grit and the hard work that our ancestors have done for a long, long time around here, and many of you know more than me, what it looked like, not what it looked like, but what it was like in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and as we grew in the 50s and 60s, and the backbone of what that was, and just the pride that we have in our community. And again, I've talked about the support through life. I wouldn't be here again if it wasn't for this community. And then our culture, our heritage, and diversity. So I don't get to teach anymore. I'm just a football coach and an athletic coordinator. But when I taught, one of my favorite things I did in class was I made kids speak. I think it's important to be able to speak, even if it's in front of 15 of your classmates. But I'd write on the board where everybody was from. And I got somebody from Lewisville. Awesome, tell me about it. I got somebody from, South Korea, or I got somebody from Venezuela. It's just all over the place, and it was awesome to see the diversity, and we celebrated that. And I think that's what Lewisville is and what we do, and that's what we do at our high school for sure, is celebrate culture, heritage, diversity, and really make this place welcome to all. And there's no better picture of that than on our football team and at our high school. But that's one of my favorite things about Lewisville is all the diversity. As our town grows, the values and the things that got us here, the grit, the hard work, the love, the supporting your neighbors, the backing the police, the firemen, the teachers, the city workers, you name it, but being all one, and that's what's awesome about this day, coming together as one. Put some things on here. You guys know this, but things that stick out in my mind. 1897, Lewisville School opened. Knew that date because I was the 100th year when we won state when I graduated, but it's been a long time. Been a lot of tradition that's going on here. We came incorporated in 1925. The dam was completed in 1954, which then created Lake Lewisville. Vista Ridge Mall, man, I remember cruising down 35 and you saw the big, beautiful trees, right? That's kind of how you knew you were getting into Lewisville. And then all of a sudden they put a mall there, so that kind of was how you knew you were coming, getting into Lewisville, coming north back in the day. But when all that happened, growth just took off. And then as you see, just 9 years later, we opened our 5th high school in LISD. So going, and now it's up to us as we keep growing and keep figuring out ways to be bigger, better, and just better for our citizens or our community, and how we can continue to grow, how we can continue to support local businesses, how we can remember who we are and where we came from, and the pride. So farmer pride, something we break out to all the time. What is farmer pride? It's from the outside looking in, you can't understand it. From the inside looking out, you can't explain it. When I walk the halls of Lewisville High School, I can feel it. You can feel the pride. It's still there. Many of you did. Maybe it was the school back on Purnell, or maybe it was the one built here. But it is a real thing. And I put Lewisville pride because that's the pride I have. Actually, in my Bible study today, it's funny. I was going through my notes, and it was talking about pride, and this was in there. So when you say pride, it's not sinful pride. Pride is a blend of gratitude, self-respect, confidence, and humility. And I think that's important, because we're not bragging, we're not boasting, but we're giving gratitude, and the confidence of who we are and where we're going and what we're doing. So that's farmer pride. We say it all the time, and hopefully Lewisville will adapt that too, and just say, we have a ton of pride in our community and what we're doing and how we're doing it, and that we're all a part of this. And it's our responsibility, as many of us have been here for many years, and then as folks come in. So an example, someone moves in, they join my football team. I usually give them 2 or 3 days, and then I'll sit them in a meeting and I'll ask them, okay, what's the culture like here? And I'll ask them in front of their teammates, and they better be able to list off some of our core values and some of the things that define our program. If not, then I'm not doing a very good job. So hopefully when someone moves into Lewisville and they're cruising around downtown and seeing what we're all about, hopefully they can talk about the love the neighbor, the friendly atmosphere, the local business, that people are saying hi and waving to me and helping me out. Hopefully those are some things that stick out, because we're all in this together. So talked about tackling our challenges with pride. Comes from the past. We're here now. Just some challenges that I just rolled off, that I think about. I've got a kid. I've got 11 and a 9-year-old. I got myself and all my players and my school, things that we think about, that safety and security. What does that look like moving forward, in the school system, in the cities, affordable housing, what does that look like? The transportation and the congestion with the new roads and the highway going on, and the continue adding of that space, and then bringing the community together for events and places. Wayne Ferguson Plaza is a fantastic place to hang out. I know I've heard rumors about what's going on at the lake with the new area right there by Sneaky Pete's. So really curious to see where this goes, and and the things that are on the table, and how we can improve places that we can come together and celebrate each other. So it's game time. Got to get you run through the tunnel here. We're about to run out on the field and kick some tail. But we are Lewisville. Lewisville pride, farmer pride, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't have pride. In this place, that you didn't care about Claire and her vision, that you didn't want to support Lewisville, and that's why I'm here as well. So let's come together and create it, and be the voice, and create disciples around in your church, on your block, in the community, within our small businesses. And my thing is, you're going to hear yeses, you're going to hear nos, and maybe some possibilities. But we have a voice, and we can work together, and we can do this thing together, and that we can't ask for more than that. So thank you, Claire, for the vision. Thank you guys for being here, and man, thank you for hearing me out, and I appreciate you guys. All right, this is the time I'm supposed to ask if you have any questions. And we're going to bring you a microphone.
Thanks. So we just moved to Old Town in December, and we're real excited to be part of this community. My question to you is, how do we get tickets to go to your football games? Because we want to watch you kick the pants off of Marcus.
There you go. Well, you know the right person, so I can help you out. I'll be happy to get you complimentary tickets to those Marcus games. So don't. All I'll need is a phone number, and I'll send them to you electronically.
Speaking of football tickets, no, I don't want a free one. But we're grandparents, great-grandparents. We would love to have tickets that don't cost as much. You know, like, I don't know, $3-4. Have you thought of having special tickets for seniors?
That's a great question, and that would be at the district level something that we can talk about, and I'm not sure, but something I can definitely look into, and we can see if there is a senior discount. I'm trying to think how much tickets are. There may be $8, I think is what they are right now. $8, yes. Yeah, some. Okay. Okay.
Football related. Sorry guys. My question's not football related, but so we have a daughter and one on the way, and we bought a house in Lewisville 6 years ago. We really intentionally chose to be here. And so my question for you is, as a high school coach, what do you see as the biggest needs for like our kids and our youth coming up, and how can we, we're really passionate about, and that's why we kind of wanted to be here, advocating that Lewisville includes amenities and opportunities for kids to exist and be that's not on the internet and that's not too expensive for families to take advantage of. So just curious what you, from your vantage point, you see as some of the biggest needs for kids of all ages as they grow and maybe start their own families here.
Yeah, I think involvement, and I'm an athletic coordinator, so sports is my jam, but with fine arts, with music, they need to, we encourage involvement. When our student council is one of the biggest in the whole state, so that's being involved, the student leaders and building leaders. But that's the one thing I encourage every person that I come in contact with. And if someone is in my program and they're getting out, I'm like, well, all right, well, let's sit down. Where are we going? What are we doing? Because doing nothing's not an option. But that's the one thing I'd say, being involved. And what I've done every year, going on 9 now, just with my programs and talking to my head coaches too, is we do our team dinners. So the day before the game, we're going to go and we're going to feed the kids, and I do them at churches. And we're going to go. Valley Creek's been a great partners of ours. Louisville Baptist has. Christ Freedom, Robert Daniels has been a big asset to us. But I want kids to go step into these places, meet people, play games. They're going to eat a good meal and just be involved. So there's lots of ways to do that. It is difficult. Those things they put in front of their faces. My kids love them too. So, but no, that's what we strive for as a school district as well. We want kids to be involved and through our elementaries and middle and high schools. All right, go Farmers, beat Marcus.